Yeah, they are here. The CEO of the NSA is here. Every time we interact with the sitters, they come to our meetings. So the CEO is here. Colleagues who have taken too long, TG, stop playing with your phone. Let's be serious. Please lead the presentation of the department, and then from there we'll give to the unconfirmed confirmed chair to lead to lead the seat, and then the CEO will present. Then we'll have a conversation. Of TG.
Chairperson,
Okay.
sorry,
Yeah.
my apology.
Yeah, hold on, DJ.
My apologies. I'm not sure how you have closed this matter. I heard you saying that you will definitely meet and attend to this matter. But this is not for the first time you're saying that. That the one of the minister coming through and dealing with the issues of the chairs, including the NSA. The reason why I'm saying that, I don't understand how you are closing it. You are not necessarily giving us time frames. And this is not for the first time you're saying that you'll definitely drag the minister to this committee, whether screaming or crying. This is not for the first time. Can you give us a time frame? Because in all honesty, apart from the allegations, we've got issues in terms of these boards. And would want the minister to take full responsibility as a person who was responsible for the entire process. Please give us a time frame.
No, I apologize. I did say that we will write to her today to tell us how far with the appointments of the boards, not only chairs, but with the full complement of the AAs. And then if they are not done, she must commit to a date by when will they be done with that process. So we can't say we'll bring her in 2 weeks' time, whereas in 2 weeks' time they will not be done. So that's where the issue might be. But next week, I did say next week she will be here to respond to us on the issue of University of Limpopo with the entire delegation. In that meeting, she will then commit to a deadline if she had not done so already. And that is why I said to the department, when we write to you, you must respond. Because they have a tendency of we write to them and they don't respond. We're not going to wait for 3 months this time. If they don't respond, we're going to put timeline, say, we're writing to you on what is the date, 14th. If you have not responded to us by this particular date, then we'll have to take other steps to force you to respond to us, which is not something that we ordinarily want to do, but we'll do it. So the concern is noted, and I said that even on the letter, we will inform the minister of the concerns that members have raised, which are many. We will make it a point. DG?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable WT Lonzi, and honorable members of the Portfolio Committee. Esteemed members of the committee and the delegation of both the department and the sitter. Parliamentary staff and members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and I think I must start by acknowledging, Chair, the conversations prior to my ascendance to the podium to indicate that when it comes to our commitment to this committee, there is no question, Chair, and I think if we have a room to improve, we can commit that we will do better to improve on any area that concerns the committee, because to us, that is the only option that we have. And I am uncomfortable when perhaps our letters that we write to request to be excused for meetings. Perhaps we need to be more detailed so that we can convince the committee that when an occasion occurs where, for example, today the minister had no choice but to be in a special cabinet that has been called. There is no other. The only time the DG would not be here and at cabinet is when we're presenting ourselves, but not on a normal cabinet meeting. I should prefer to be here than to be any other area, Chair. But I trust that we will be able to clarify those matters and show by our conduct that indeed we are committed to the obligations that we have to submit to the oversight of Parliament. And I think it's important that I make that point very clear, Chair. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and for your opening remarks, Chair, ahead of this important presentation by the construction sitter. And this sitter, Chair, has been for several years the subject of intense public scrutiny and concern due to widespread allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and serious governance failures over time now. And I think the interventions by the minister are well known and they are reported and recorded. At some point, the sitter was on administration. At some point, serious investigations like the Duja forensic effort are some of the interventions of our minister in trying to deal with the issues emerging out of this sitter. These allegations, which became particularly prominent in the years between 2017 and 2019, had prompted a number of investigations, Chair. So the Duja forensic investigation is but one of them. The sitter was placed under administration as from the February of 2020. Initially, this was for 12 months, and such period was extended to the 2nd of February 2022. It was during such a period that the Duja forensic investigation was conducted. The report addressed the resolutions of the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education, especially regarding the pension fund and the medical aid matter and other related governance issues reported since 2019. Amongst the key root causes identified was the breakdown of governance structures, the executive interference in operational matters, and a concerning lack of accountability and oversight. The report revealed that the executive had usurped the powers of the accounting authority. The EXCO approved the awards of discretionary grant to a tune of 100 million to SAFSEC, Vets University and Vets Enterprise at 91 million, 150 million, and 24.9 million respectively, and without any delegation of authority by the accounting authority, that is the minister. And without this being part of the formal DG evaluation report by the external company appointed to adjudicate the DGs, that is the discretionary grants. Now, Honorable Chair and esteemed members of this portfolio committee, this report pointed to serious breaches in financial management. Payroll costs more than tripled within the 3 years due to unjustified changes in the salary structure, and performance bonuses were issued without any measurable criteria. 43.7 million property transaction had to be reversed after administrative intervention, as I've indicated earlier on, that when all of this was happening, we never watched it happen. We always have intervened, and in some, at some point, as I make this example of the reversal of 43.7 million property transaction that was reversed. So in terms of its core functions, the SITA, that is the construction SITA, failed to maintain credible accreditation and certification systems. Non-compliant training providers were granted accreditation. I think that is really serious because certification that has no credibility renders credibility of any other, of such, accreditation, questionable. Non-compliant training providers were granted accreditation. Learners experienced long delays in receiving certificates. These shortcomings directly undermined the credibility of the authority, and by extension, the wider post-education and training system. The HR processes and the remuneration practices were irregularly implemented. Excessive and random salary increases placed the SITA under extreme financial pressure. Despite the bleak picture, we are pleased to note that the SITA has taken measurable steps to implement the recommendations arising from the DUJA report. Structural governance reforms are underway to restore clear lines of accountability. Procurement systems are being reviewed to ensure full compliance with supply chain legislation. The guidelines governing discretionary grants have been realigned with the Public Finance Management Act and the Skills Development Act. Quality assurance functions are being overhauled, and the work is ongoing to develop a reliable provider database and improve certification turnaround times. On the human resource front, salary bands and bonus frameworks are being reviewed, with efforts to ensure that remuneration is linked to transparent performance standards. Perhaps most importantly, the disciplinary and legal processes have commenced against officials who were implicated in wrongdoing. I'm really happy to report this to the committee, and we are watching it very closely to see if we could identify any gaps in that process as well. As we look forward, I wish to emphasize that the department expects this SITA to remain firmly committed to implementing all the recommendations of the report in full. This is essential not only for restoring public trust, but also for ensuring that the SITA becomes a reliable and impactful contributor to the MTDP that we've committed ourselves to for the next 5 years. As we enter the 7th administration, and I do not doubt that the SITA will emerge as an agile, credible, and fully accountable institution aligned with the objectives of the National Skills Development Plan, the NDP 2030, and the Medium-Term Development Plan. As I have just finalized the preparations to engage on this issue, the chair has now, in the opening remarks, made comments around the credibility of processes for appointing any officials in the system. We take this seriously, and we are looking forward to an opportunity to fully disclose on our processes and ensure that the portfolio committee does its oversight, knowing that we have fully disclosed on those processes. I wish to indicate that as a department, we are paying close attention to the matters arising out of the Tuja reports. As the CETA implements this report, we will also on our own be looking into ensuring that these are implemented to the letter. Chair, on that regard, may I hand over, with your permission, to the leader of the delegation to lead the conversation.
Thank you very much, DG. As I indicated that in the absence of the chair, I execute the responsibility. Of course, I think normally the presentation is led by the CEO, but obviously we would leave to the entity to decide who leads the presentation, and then we'll take it from there. You may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Now, I'd written on my remarks, Honorable Tebogo Litsie, and now it's Honorable Msezane acting in that position. Honorable members of the Portfolio Committee, the Secretary of the Portfolio Committee, colleagues from Department of Higher Education, members of the parliamentary staff, and the members of the Fourth Estate, and the members, officials from the CETA. Since my appointment last week, I received some reports and reviewed some of the CETA's history to understand its challenges and successes. It was not the intention to declare when it was received, but it's already on my speaking notes, and I think it responds to a question that was put before the House. So I did receive it on Friday last week, the appointment letter from the CEO. These past challenges, along with the measures taken by successive executive and accounting authorities, have significantly influenced the current state of governance within the entity. I noted that CETA, which is the construction CETA, having been established in the year 2000, was placed under administration from 2012 to 2014, following allegations of corruption, financial maladministration, and other governance and administrative issues. By 2017-2018, there were again similar allegations resurfacing of irregularities, unfair labor practices, governance failures, accreditation or certification corruption, and these were on the various media platforms. We are aware of this history and the steps taken by the previous minister, who then placed the CETA under administration from Feb 2020 to 2022, with the board subsequently being dissolved. The Tuja Forensic Investigation Report provides a sobering account of systemic issues that plagued the organization over the years. These included lapses in governance, mismanagement within the accreditation and certification processes, and the troubling rise of irregularities in the supply management practices. These failings severely impacted on the credibility of the CETA's operations and its ability to effectively deliver on its mandate. In acknowledging these historical challenges, it is important to recognize the resilience required to rebuild trust in the organization. Learning from the past mistakes is essential, not only to address their consequences, but to establish robust governance and ethical practices for the future. As we take oversight of this organization towards 2030, we commit to ensuring that proper and transparent governance and administration are central to our approach. This will be anchored on ethical leadership, high performance, and the fulfillment of our mandate to improve the lives of South Africans through providing essential skills, particularly to young South Africans, women, people living with disabilities, and all marginalized groups. Focus will be placed on producing artisans and addressing critical human resource constraints, particularly within the built environment space. Key findings of the Tuja report. The Tuja report highlighted several concerns, particularly regarding governance, which will serve as lessons for future practices during our term. I've already mentioned that. Then on governance, the Tuja report confirmed governance failures at SITA, evidenced by various instances of non-compliance and other issues. A board executive committee took over the powers, and I think the DG had already reported on that, of the full board, making decisions without delegation and without presenting them to the full board for ratification. We will ensure accountability and adherence to the limits set for us as a board. There were also issues of conflict of interest and questionable relationships within certain entities doing business with the SITA. We are committed to preventing such issues in the future. And there were issues on the SCM process, which we will ensure that we correct as per the recommendations put in by the report. We would want to apologize for the many changes, Chair, that would have been made to this report or to this presentation. And that was on the basis that the response that we got from Tuja, which was the party that was appointed to institute the report, was that some of the people implicated in the report had not been informed of the incriminating evidence that is there against them. So we thought therefore it would be improper that we present that in full to this committee without it being, without the right to be heard having been observed, which is a legal right that whoever is implicated has. So we didn't want to fall foul of the law, particularly as I start today, that then I'm already on the wrong side. So it wouldn't have been nice. Secondly, any corrective action that we may have taken against individuals that are implicated in the Tuja report would be, or the consequence management would have been taken on the basis that they also are implicated in other reports that were done within the SITA.
Project of the SITA, which we estimate that by 30th of June 2025, since the tender was issued for the records management and digitization of our records, the tender is under evaluation at this stage. We expect that to be concluded and the process to be implemented by the date indicated. Then when it comes to HR, I'm not going to go back to the issues that affect, because the recommendation recommends for some members of that board criminal charges as well, which will be the subject of the release of the Tuja report, and the minister then taking a stance on those recommendations. I will then go to the question that we asked: what consequence management was effected to those implicated? As indicated in the opening remarks, since there were various investigation reports that were conducted at the SITA, specifically the DHED, Gobodo, and the NSA reports, all those that were cited by those reports that needed to be held accountable at that stage. During the administration, the administrator suspended all the bid committee members and certain SCM officials in 2020, and most of them, they went through a disciplinary process formally and pleaded guilty. And then when they pleaded guilty, according to the words of the administrator, he exercised the powers that was vested in him as an accounting authority and resolved to deal with those officials who had pleaded guilty in the following manner: that they would be granted amnesty instead of being dismissed, and he issued them with final written warnings on certain conditions that those officials must then assist the administration and the forensic investigation by divulging and providing information and supporting evidence about all maladministration, corrupt activities that they were aware or knew of at the SITA, and to assist the forensic investigation. Plus, they must commit themselves that going forward they will conduct themselves ethically and never to commit similar acts of unethical conduct in the future. Then that concluded the matter of those in that all of them were found guilty and they did plead guilty of all those issues. Certain official suspensions were uplifted by August 2020 as reflected in the next slides, meaning they didn't go through the DC process of the administrator at that time. And then ultimately, the members of senior management and executives who were suspended, they then got their employment with the SITA terminated in 2021. A senior finance manager resigned before was being charged whilst on suspension and went to join another SITA. Then the list contains when the employees concerned were suspended, who in the main were members of the bid committees and some SCM officials. Matters were finalized where those pleaded guilty and they were issued with final written warnings, and others were found guilty and then at that time. This is an extract from the presentation made on 9 March 2021 by the legal advisor to the administrator to the Audit and Risk Committee of the SITA at the time, and then some were terminated as indicated. And then there were 3 employees that who are said to have made certain representation.
What assurance can we be given from the department to say that these people definitely will not be participating in the new boards of SITAs, because these people are not fit for purpose and definitely belong somewhere in the space of the justice system? Thank you very much. I'll lend the Chairperson.
No, thank you very much. DG, if you, okay.
Chair, thank you for that question. I think I'm really looking forward to the time when we fully account on the appointment of the new boards. Because I believe, and I said that in the previous time I had a chance, that I was really fully confident of the processes that were involved in the appointment of the boards. And I even at that time indicated extraordinary measures that were taken. And one of them, for the first time, we said we are not going to appoint these boards without a kind of a scientific method in dealing, so that allows us to dig deep into the performance of the current boards. And we, despite the fact that the time frames were very tight, we managed to get the National Skills Authority to appoint a service provider to help it to actually investigate and present a report, which I would be very happy to table before this committee. An NSA report, which indicated very specifically and cleanly what the performance of individual board members are. I also wish to indicate that one of the reasons for the delay in the appointment of the current boards has been the processes, of verification that needed to happen, and vetting of those who then would emerge as recommended. So we will be happy to provide that chair, and table it before this committee, so that you can see that we have taken this period, this process. I don't want to talk about gazetting. From the time of gazetting, there was a time when because we introduced new measures and new qualification measures for board members to say, the qualifications of those we appoint should be at this particular level. All of this is the first. It never happened that we go to this extent when appointing boards. And I think up to now, when I'm already aware that we have tabled before the appointment of board members, we've tabled before the National Skills Authority in terms of the law for them to interrogate that list. It to me means something that we haven't had, done before, but also compliance being assured in terms of what the law says the processes must be.
Well, thank you very much, DG.
Yeah.
So your time has expired, unfortunately. Thank you very much, DG. Please close the mic. We will hold you accountable to that. We'll want that report that the NSA did of the performance of these individual board members of all 21 sitters. I've got an interest somewhere. Honorable Maseko.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to find out, maybe continuing from Honorable Msizan, on the issue of the law firm that was involved in looking at the report. Has the department ever seen that report? What is it that they compiled?
I'm sure our legal chair, through you.
You don't have a legal team. If you want to report, you are starting.
Chair, officially we have not seen it, but I know that my team have seen it, especially the legal team, because it was tabled to the board in July 2023, and it was approved. The reviewed report was tabled and approved by the full board of construction SETA in July 2023, and we can provide the record of that.
Okay, maybe just to understand, so there is a forensic report that gets to be compiled. The department put the SETA in administration with the board that is there. That's the whole mess is happening. The same board is the one that asked the law firm that has to look at the report that includes them on the mismanagement of the SETA. And after they hire the law firm to look at the report, and after they are the same ones that have to approve. That means it was the same board throughout all this that I've said.
A part of the acceptance of the report by the DG when I received the report would be to look into all of that and to interrogate the integrity of the report, because the integrity of the report will have to be determined by all of those issues. For example, vested interests that could be embedded in this, because what's important to me now is the board before the administration, its role, and the administration, and the board after the administration, what was its role in the report and the evolution of these processes up to the end. And I would imagine that, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of the former minister in this regard, but these are the issues that he would be looking into, and we will understand that when we get the report itself.
Okay, thank you very much. Just another question. For the department, I'm taking advantage of you were there, DG, when the SETA get to be put on administration. What did the department, as you were doing the report, what is it that you identified for you as a department, you can say that you're going to put SETA under administration? What were the loopholes? Maybe if you can share with us the list that you identified.
Thanks very much, Honorable Chair. Thanks, DG. Honorable members, the sequence of events, if one can speak to, as DG has already indicated, to some of the areas. Issues are being brought to the minister. All the issues that have been presented here, as some of them as allegations, to say these are the issues. And then the minister then makes a determination in terms of a section. There are two important sections in the Skills Development Act. There is section 14A, and then there is section 15. Section 14, when the minister receives allegations, whether it's financial mismanagement, as in this instance, then the minister would, as required by the Act, write to the SETA to say the sitter, these are the issues relating to the pension and so on, writing to the board that was there at the time. And then said, now comment on all these things and you please present a turnaround a plan as to how you'll be addressing these matters. Then the board, then led by the former chairperson, makes a presentation to the minister to say these issues, this is how we are dealing with them. And the minister is not happy, and then placing the sitter under administration.
I'm sorry, Chair. I just wanted the response for you to, not the process of how it came about. I appreciate that. You empowered us for now. But if you can just respond what you identified, I will appreciate that. Or what you know was identified. And now, in your response now, you spoke about the allegations that went to the minister. Now, I'm taking that there is the monitoring and there was reporting that was happening to the department that you would have seen the financial report that the salaries have doubled in millions. Now, if that is the case, it's not an allegation because you see it in the report if that was happening. So just answer me what you identified.
Well, firstly, I must say DG was not there at the time when we placed the sitter under administration. So was the former DG, because the Act requires that the DG, the DG must then place the sitter under administration in terms of the Section 15 of the Skills Development Act. The allegations, as confirmed by the report presented to us, were brought to the attention of the minister. Some relating to issues of pensions, whereby it was 100%. Ordinarily, the pension, we know the employer will contribute so much, and then the employer will contribute so much. Then the decision is taken by the sitter to say, we will contribute 100% of the pension to all employees. Those are some of the allegations that were placed then before the minister, then leading to the placing of the sitter under administration, and then the administrator.
I'm sorry, I just want to twist for you to give me the confirmation. Moving from allegation to the reality of the report, you were there. The report was saying that, or was not saying that? The report was tweaked as you were receiving it, the department, until the allegation came in. I just want to get the clarity between the two. Do you get where I'm coming from? Were you getting the real report, or it was tweaked that you were surprised when the report came, that you found out that they were not giving you the right report? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Oh, I get the point. I get the point, Honorable Maseko. The reports that we are getting on a quarterly basis, as DG was saying, because that is in terms of the PFMA, then the sitter must report on a quarterly basis. In addition to that, we have a service level agreements that we sign between the DG and the sitter. And then obviously we'll enlist issues that will be monitoring during the duration of the service level agreement. Obviously, when the sitter reports to us, they will not indicate to us those areas that were brought to our attention, which were the allegations. For example, they won't report to us to say we've increased now the pension benefits is 100%. They won't report those things to us. But then they came to us as allegations, and then hence then the minister, under those circumstances, put it back to the board to say, please, you answer on these allegations. Obviously, the minister is not happy, is appointing the administrator, and the minister is requesting the administrator to conduct then forensic investigation.
Still, I'm not answered.
Okay.
So, again, you empowered us about reporting system. How do you go about? At the end, whether the financial report that you receive maybe once per annum or twice per annum, did it indicate that doubled amount or it was the surprise when the Daju report came?
Yes, Board Chairperson.
Thanks, Chair. There are two things that I would want to clarify. I think here an impression has been created that the board that precedes our appointment had actually opposed the institution of these investigations.
Okay, with due respect, I've got 15 minutes. I don't want to address your concern of the impression. I just want the answer now. I think you are going to get the last word when we are done. You can come with the concern of the impression. We just asked the questions from the presentation that we received. And then from there, if there's any concern that you do have. Now, if I gave that impression of that, no, I did not give the impression. I was asking the question about what I saw on the presentation. So I'm stingy with my time of the questions. I'm sorry. Maybe you will ask the chairperson to give you some few minutes when we are done for you to address that issue. Unless if you wanted to answer my question, directly answer the question. I will appreciate that.
Thank you. Zamo?
Thank you, Chairperson. If I understood the question, is that what were the specific areas that had been identified that led to? So as the procedure that was explained, so the matter comes to the NSA then goes into preliminary investigation. So what we found, there were issues of allegation in supply chain, and that related to a number of issues, including fabrication of purchase orders, functionality criteria that allowed scorers at discretion, which opens a window of manipulation of the system, price negotiations that took place after the appointment of the service provider, resulting in variations to the project amounts, which accommodated service providers that quoted above the budget, bids that had repeatedly been cancelled and re-advertised due to service providers not meeting functionality requirements. Then there were recommendations that were made that the minister issue an instruction to the construction sector to appoint a forensic auditor. And this is that forensic audit, that report that is being tabled, which was adopted. There was also recommendations to do lifestyle audit of some individuals that were involved, including the CFO at the time. There were allegations of the failure by the accounting authority to promote good governance. This related to the chairperson who was delegated to approve tenders above R1 million after the tender is recommended by the bid adjudication and the CEO. The accounting authority had failed to rectify this practice even after being advised by the NSA. The accounting authority failed to inform the CEO of his appointment. The recommendation by the NSA was for the CETA to rectify this process and withdraw the delegations that were inappropriately given. The CETA was also recommended to proceed with the appointment of the CEO at the time with the effect from the date of appointment as letter signed by the minister back then. There were also allegations that the accounting authority members were alleged to be receiving financial benefits for doing business with the CETA. Although the NSA could not find evidence to verify that, but that is why then the NSA recommended that the minister implements a forensic investigation to include investigation into the veracity of the matters. So that has transpired to the report that is being tabled. And since then, of course, the scope was broadened to cover some of the areas that have been indicated here, because there were these issues that were tabled that came through various complaints.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, I just want to find out, in the officials that were involved, the executive and any other person that was involved in this corruption that was happening, was there a time that there was a financial quantifying of the because I'm asking this question because there's handshakes of people that resign. One has gone to the service sector, and others, the CCMA, you are still in the case, but there's a lot of money that the sector lost. Did you attach the damage to all this that was happening for you to be able to try to see if you can recover the monies from those individuals when you implement consequence management?
Thank you. Indeed, that assessment was done, like I was indicating, under discretionary grants projects, that when the report is released, we will have a duty to disclose irregular expenditures not less than 700 million. Also, with regard to the officials themselves, you will note that the framework for assessing irregular expenditure, fruitless expenditures, does guide how you go about it. There may be irregular expenditure where there was no financial loss per se, it's just that the process was flawed. And in that regard, we have such certain awards that were set aside by the courts. However, the services were rendered in terms of what was proposed at the tender stage and in terms of the contract, meaning there was no financial loss. The ones that we referred to where there was financial loss, like in the issues of VETS enterprise, unfortunately, at this stage, we were at a stage where we have assessed, the lawyers have taken that matter to courts so that the monies can be recovered, because on record currently, the record shows that the money went to that entity being approved by a certain official, but there's no record that says the money went to the official's bank account at this stage. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Kuzayo, there's a report that you are reading from when you are answering Mama Seko. What report is that?
Chair, it's a report that we compiled and tabled. It's a preliminary report that the NSA compiled for the minister following the referral of the matter to the NSA to investigate.
When was it referred?
It was tabled here in the previous portfolio committee, I think in 2020.
So why is it still the preliminary report? Why have you not submitted to the minister?
No, it was submitted to the minister. That gave rise to the forensic that was undertaken, the outcome of which is being tabled.
Okay, DG, and I'll just note that we'll also write to the minister to give us this report for the benefit of members. Thank you. Honorable Zondo.
No, thanks, Chair. I think one will not take this 15 minutes because most of the question will be similar to members, because the issue now is no longer about what happened, but it's about what step has been taken after that. So I think DG, on his response to Msezana, I get something that says we need to, on this matter, we need to get minister, the current one, and again, we need to get the previous minister, because those are people who will give us answers in terms of why this report is not published. Then thereafter, it will follow. Because the issue of consequence management, I'm not sure if it's because the level of education limits me to understand why the name of employees, not even titles, because if you listed employee one, what are we going to say? Who's employee one? if you, as the committee, when you're saying employee one, then who's that? What he has done, employee one? Where is the reference? In fact, maybe there is an annexure that will say when you are referring to employee one, you are referring so and so. Then so that we'll understand that employee one has done this and that and that. So when you're saying suspension was uplifted, we'll satisfy ourselves to say, is it correct to, it was correctly uplifted, or it was the continuance of corruption and maladministration. So I think in this report, we need to understand that one, because the key role players of this corruption and maladministration, some of them, based on that list of employee one to whatsoever, so they are telling me that some of these employees are still in the system, because some, they were suspended and the suspension afterwards was uplifted. And then if we don't know who are these people, and that means what were they doing, it will resurface again. You know, and I think, Chair, because I said that, I will not take that, because even the answer to say that she's saying that he's not sure, you said that she must respond to us to say who took a matter to court again. Which board? Is the previous board or administration or that board? You know, because I think I will get my answers from my questions, because we want to get to the gist of the matter to say who did what. And we will come to a point to say, after that, now it's your term. I know that we even had to call this report. It's not that it's only chairperson that can be rescued in this matter to say, I just come on Friday. So there's nothing I have to hide on this report. But the minister, the current one, have to tell us why not, because now I think it's 12 months now in the office for us as members of parliament, or 11 months or so. So with this report in the office, and the previous minister would also have to give us why. We understand that there are a lot of court back and forth that were happening, but we're not convinced. And the name of the board members, from previous board members, board and that one, we need those names. We need to know about it. Because now we are going to have a meeting with the minister, and he will give us the name of our board chairperson. What if one of the board members appears? Because there is no case against them that was opened, unless you say that there are cases. But we would say, because the report was not finalized, who opened the case? You know. So what we are going to account to say that there's someone who did this corruption up to this far, but again, 2 years, 3 years down the line, he reappeared on another sector. There's someone who's been employed in the service sector in your report. So what we are going to say about that? Are we responsible? Are we holding you accountable? So you don't have to hide information for us. Give us everything. Because if you do that, you mean we must suspect that you are also part of the problem. Because in South Africa, we've learned that all the sectors and departments, you find that the cycle of corruption involve all the players in the department. If you touch one, the pain felt the other one on that side. You don't understand what is happening, why I'm touching this one, and someone out there is shaking, you know, because the cycle. So we'll end up suspecting that you are part of the problem if you are not giving us the information. So, Mr. Chair, I think the questions that were asked by colleagues, these are also comrades, yeah.
By comrades.
Yeah. I think mostly the question that I have and the response that I got, I think I still feel like after what you have said, those responses will give us the answers that we need. But beside, we'll play the cat and a mouse game in this room, saying that it was not done on my time, this is not done, but this was there, this was that, but the answers are there. But you need to give us in writing, and we'll have to meet the ministers with all the information that is on your disposal so that you'll be able to do our oversight. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, just clarity. The reason why the presentation of the CETA does not have names, it's what I said earlier, that the department and the ministry received this report and sat on it. Legally, they've not contacted the people who are supposed to be named there. Yeah, so the department is creating all this mess for us because they should have given those people a right to reply, whether they want to take it for a review or not. And they've not done so because they've not made it public. So the problem there is the department and the ministry on this one. Because if they were to make it public now, and those people see their names for the first time on a newspaper here, on this thing, they'll take them to court and win. So that is why it's employee 1, employee 2 there. That's the only reason. And it's the problem is the department and the ministry. So I thought I must just clarify. If you look at, so it means somebody from a legal team somewhere in the department, or they ask somebody, I don't know, because I still believe they don't have a legal team in the department. They've asked somebody, because if you look at the presentation they gave us on a Friday, it does have names. This one is they've updated it to remove the names. So somebody somewhere, maybe they looked for a legal opinion elsewhere, and that legal opinion advised them to say, remove the names. But their own team, legally, internally, did not pick that up. Honorable, no, leave information. Honorable Lonzi. No. You will give it to Honorable, Honorable Ngubani next to you has not. Yeah, you'll give Honorable Lonzi. No. You see, he wants to be a deputy chair now. Honorable Lonzi.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I think I'm going to direct my questions at the department and the DG because we still have many questions about the appointment of the boards of the CETAs.
Yeah, maybe. Let me just. We have agreed. Members spoke about it. You were delayed in traffic. Just that you had forgotten to send us an apology. So what we had agreed there is that we will talk to that with the ministry and the department on a separate. I've written to her. I've indicated today that in this meeting we've sent a letter already, asking her when will she be ready to come and present to us. We've clarified that part at the beginning because that is what we have seen so far. It's a leaked, unverified list of people who are said to be chairpersons. And then we did indicate that, surprisingly, one of those people there is here in the meeting, and we did see the letter. So we know that at least we've got one that we know. And we have accepted because the CEO indicated he did receive the letter and we have accepted. So we will have a session with on that part of the ministry interacting with us on not only the chairpersons, but the whole SITA boards. So we've written to her about that.
No, I thank your proactiveness, Chair, but I am going to use my 15 minutes to engage with the department on this point so that I can have a second bite when the minister comes. DG, have you made appointments of board chairpersons of SITAs?
Yeah, Honorable Lonzi, we also addressed that part that.
No, Chair. I think, Chair,
No, hold on, legally.
it's going to be a problem, Chair, if you are not going to allow me to use my 15 minutes
Yeah.
in the manner that I want to use it, Chair.
No, but
I hope you
also-
have paused my time.
No, I have, but
Yeah.
we also have a legislative prerogative to assist one another. The DG will not know. So if you ask him a
But
question.
you are answering for him,
hold on.
Chair.
No, on a legislative. I'm
But
telling
he
you.
is here. You
No,
can't
but-
say the DG will not know. He must say to me, I don't know.
No problem.
And then I move.
Honorable
Now you are
Lonzi.
becoming his lawyer.
No, Honorable Lonzi. The DG does not appoint. Members here-
Chairperson, I'm not asking you. I'm
No,
asking the
Mama,
DG.
Honorable Lonzi.
But you can't, I don't
Honorable
understand,
Lonzi.
Chair.
No, my
I'm
man.
asking the DG,
Yeah, but my
have
man.
you made board
He
appointments of
can't make
sitters?
it, and I'm trying to assist
But
you.
he can answer for himself. He's here. Why are you protecting him?
Members wanted to ask that at the
Chairperson,
beginning.
why are you protecting him? He's here. He
No,
can
I'm not
speak.
protecting him.
He understands English.
No,
He
Honorable
can simply
Lonzi.
say no.
Honorable Lonzi, you see, we're not going to do that. Because it's like you want the DG to answer something that is, he's not
Why are you talking
legislated.
on behalf of
He's
the
not
DG?
legislated.
Why is he not saying
No,
I'm
you
not
are
legislated?
You are using the committee's time to ask.
No, I'm using Parliament's time as a member of Parliament.
No, Honorable Lonzi.
Chair, I am going to ask the DG this
No,
question.
Honorable Lonzi. You
The
see,
DG must
I'm
be the
going to-
one
no,
that
I'm going to
says.
ask you,
The
you see
DG
now,
must be the one that
you are
says,
forcing me
I
to-
can't
to
answer that
enforce-
question.
You are forcing
No,
me to
if there must be
enforce-
force, there must be force, because I don't understand why you are protecting the DG.
No, I'm not.
The DG can answer for himself, he's here. If I was asking maybe the minister, then your intervention was going to make sense to say, Honorable Lonzi, the minister is not here, therefore you can't direct questions to the minister. But the DG is right here.
No.
The DG can say, Honorable Lonzi, I don't have the answers to that.
No, but-
And then I move on to the next question.
No.
But why do you want to protect him? He's here, he can put on his microphone.
No problem.
I'm asking him a question.
Listen.
DG,
Listen.
as the DG of Higher Education, have you made board appointments to sitters? He can just say no, I move on to my next question.
Yeah.
Or he can say yes. But now you're becoming his lawyer.
No, I'm telling you, at the beginning of the meeting, members addressed that issue. And we have agreed on how we are going to proceed with it. So you can't come after. We have agreed here and want to change that. That's the point.
No, you're
But-
not my caucus, Chairperson.
No, it's not a caucus.
I'm
it's
an
the decision of this-
individual member
No, you
of
see,
Parliament.
I'm now going to.
I've got
ask you
15 minutes.
No.
I've got 15
You see,
minutes.
well,
I can
this is-
use my
this is
15
still
minutes
Parliament.
away.
No, you're not going to do that.
No, I'm
It's
not.
like
I'm not
asking-
going to. Why are you protecting the DG?
No, it's like asking Anela, why did you write the letter? You can't because Anela
Why
can't.
is the DG
It's
not
me who
speaking for
writes the
himself?
letter. No, listen.
Why are you speaking for the DG?
You see, Honorable Lonzi, my man, you are asking, it's like asking Honorable Ngubane, why did you write the letter? He can't, it's the chairperson of the committee.
But if
You are
Honorable
asking the
Ngubane
wrong
is here, he
person.
must answer for himself.
No, you are asking the wrong person.
Why-
We have agreed on it here in this
No, I'm not your
committee.
caucus.
It
I'm
was
a
not a
member.
caucus.
I'm an independent member of Parliament.
Yeah.
If you, as the chairperson, have agreed you are going to allocate me 15 minutes as a member of Parliament, I am going to utilize my 15 minutes the way I want to utilize them. I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm asking the DG a simple question, which the DG is more than capable of responding to. But you are jumping to say, no, the DG can't answer that question. But the DG is here. He can tell me, DG, have you made board appointments of sitters? He can say no, I move on to the next question. He can say yes, I move on to the next question. But you can't say you can't ask the DG that. If I want to, I can say, DG, why are you wearing a purple tie today? I mean, I can ask him anything that I want to ask him, as long as I'm not contravening parliamentary rules. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not doing anything wrong. DG, why are you carrying a brown bag? I can ask him anything. It's my 15 minutes.
Honorable,
No, thanks, Chair. I think Honorable Lonzi is, need to be assisted on this matter to say, the one who does the appointment is the minister, and we have agreed as the whole committee, because now I started on that question when I get here. I raised my hand and I said, DG must give us information, because he has the information at his disposal. But because it is the powers and prerogative of the minister to appoint board of sitters, and we leave it like that to say that we'll have the meeting with the minister, and the minister will give us information, and we'll ask questions based on what she will give us. Then we had move on that note. It's just that, Chair, I think the DG called for this question again, because on his response, he cited the process
Exactly.
of appointing the board members and what they've done. Because you saw me raising my hand after I spoken, it's because I saw that and said that the DG now is throwing the water on his way, because saying that he's telling us that he was part of the process of appointing
Exactly.
the board members. But we have agreed, and let's have what we have agreed on, because as the committee, if we're dealing with the matter, we have to make sure that we reach the consensus so that we'll move on and have a smooth meeting going forward.
I've got 15 minutes and I'm going to utilize the chair
Honorable Lonzi,
the way I
I'm
want to
chairing
utilize
here,
it.
no problem. But I'm
Thanks.
chairing.
Please allocate me my
No,
15 minutes
no,
and
listen.
don't want to tell
Honorable
me
Lonzi.
what I must ask and what I must
Honorable
not
Lonzi.
ask.
You said you are a member of parliament. We are in parliament here.
Yes.
A member has called a point of order, and I've given him. You are now speaking. What is
All
the
right,
rule
no
saying? You
problem,
must
Chair.
allow us.
No, I will allow you.
Yeah,
Please
the
allow
member
me
is
as well.
correctly telling you that the person who appoints is the minister. We have agreed on it. These members had plenty of questions on that day. And we said they must not ask it, we will ask it to the minister, to the person who appoints. The DG, I saw you, the DG was giving a process that they would have followed as the department in helping the minister to get to the decision, but they don't appoint. So they will say, Minister, we have vetted 50 people, here are the names of those who had applied. So that does not contravene the fact that they still don't appoint. It's the minister who must respond to that part of the issues. And these members, they wanted to raise those issues. We have agreed. They raised 1, 2, 3, about 4 of them raised this thing that we want to do these things, and we have agreed that as this committee today, we are going to write to the minister, and we have done so. And therefore, asking a wrong person a question about something that does not fall within their purview will not assist any of us. In fact, you are now forcing us to even suggest that it's some sort of populist behavior that we want to do, especially when this team has agreed today that we're not going to do it. So please, continue to ask on the DUJA or any other question, except I have a responsibility to protect both yourselves and those who appear before you when you ask them questions that are not related to their scope of work.
No, it's not true.
No, wait, no, it's my job.
It's not true.
My responsibility.
You can't tell me the board appointments of sitters is not in the scope of the DG.
I'm going to ask you to leave our meeting.
No.
No,
If you want to protect, if you are here, Chair,
you are pushing me
to protect the corruption of sitters, the DG must tell us.
Yeah, please leave
We
our
must keep
meeting.
quiet as South Africans
Chairperson.
when you've got a minister that has appointed the son of Guatemantashe in the board, and we must not ask him. You must come and be a bodyguard of the DG. No, I'm asking the department. He's the DG.
No, yes, a point of order.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. You know you cannot be subjected to this cat and mouse chase. I would plead with you as the chairperson of this committee to maintain the decorum of this meeting, but also respect the resolutions that we have came to as a committee. If needs arise, then we should not be part of this meeting. If we are going to sit in a meeting, resolve on certain issues, other members arrive late, they would want us to deviate from it. And it's not that we are afraid to engage on the issues of boards. It's not that we are afraid. And it's not that we are also happy with how the boards were handled. But we have agreed that there will be a session where the minister will have to come and take responsibility of her actions. That's how we have resolved on the matter. And I'll plead with you, Chairperson, to maintain that resolution that we have come to a conclusion on. Thank you very much.
No, thanks. Honorable Lonzi, I'm going to give you the last chance to ask questions that are not related, that are related to people who can answer it. And if you can't, and you want to continue to do it, I'm going to ask you nicely to please leave our meeting because you are not, you
No,
don't want
we'll
to.
take it
I'm
up
still
with
speaking.
Parliament.
No problem,
Yeah.
but I'm still speaking. You are continuing.
No
again.
problem. You also just interrupt me when I speak, Chair. But you can finish so that I can have my 15 minutes.
No, I'm done.
DG, are you aware of the appointments of boards in the sitters?
DG will not answer that question.
I'm not asking him if he has appointed them. I'm asking him, is he aware? He's the DG of higher education. You said you said he doesn't appoint, no problem. I'm not asking him if he has appointed. I'm saying, are you aware, as the Director General of Higher Education, of appointments of board chairpersons of sitters?
Yeah. DG won't answer that question. Two members have already told you that we have resolved there. We're going to deal with the issues. They've told you no one is afraid of engaging there. So we're going to get to that part. Are you going to ask related questions to this thing or not?
DG, are you aware that the son of Gwede Mantashe has been appointed as one of the chairpersons of the sitter boards?
Yeah, Honorable Cezanne.
Chairperson, could you please assist the committee, because now we're going to lose confidence in you as the chairperson of this session or this committee. Now the meeting is degenerating, you know, and some of us would rather be doing other work of Parliament and other work of the organization that deployed us here. Could you please ensure that you take the House back to order? We are really degenerating and we do not want to see this.
Thank you very much, Honorable Khabo. Yes.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Thanks for the opportune moment.
No, I've not finished my 15 minutes, Chair. You are going to have to kick me out here. I'm going to utilize my 15 minutes. When other members are using their 15 minutes, I keep quiet. Don't disrupt anyone. People were asking questions here to these people. You even come in and say, no, but that's something for the legal. But you don't stop them from asking the question. You are shielding these people. Why? Why can't the DG say it himself? Why must you be the lawyer of the DG? Why must you be the spokesperson of the department?
Yeah,
I've got 15 minutes.
I've asked you to leave
I've got
our
15
meeting.
minutes.
No, I've asked you to leave our meeting.
DG,
And if
are you aware
refusing-
that the son of Gwede Mantashe
If you are
has been
refusing to
appointed
to
as
go
one
out-
of the chairs of the sitter boards?
I am going to ask security to escort you out
DG,
because you are now disrupting our meetings.
DG,
Order, Chair.
No, it's fine. I've asked.
DG.
I'm waiting for security to come.
we're not going to
To
come here
remove
to
them.
protect the department.
Oh, fine.
These are skills authorities. We're sitting with almost half of the population of young people in South Africa. They are unemployed. At least 2.5 million of those people
Chairperson,
are
order.
NEET.
You know, we cannot
They
sit
are
in
not
this
in
meeting
education.
and
They are
allow
not in
certain members to
training.
behave in this
And then
manner.
we've got sitters
It's not as if we don't
that
have
must
issues.
put their family
We
members,
are not
that
here
must
for
put
such
their
things.
friends, that
It's
must
either going
put
to raise
ANC
to bring
members
on this
to
honorable
loot
member,
higher education.
or we are left
And then we're
voiceless.
told here that we can't ask those questions.
We're not here for people
We're not
to
here to come and be
come and
bodyguards of the
stand for
department.
on issues
We're not
that
here
do
to
not
speak
hold
on
water.
behalf of the department.
cannot be
We are here
accepted.
to speak for the youth. We are here to speak for the students in South Africa. They
cannot
must
allow an honorable
know
member to
what
reduce
is
this meeting
happening
into a
in the
second.
sitters.
We must
What is
refuse.
happening in the
We
board.
must refuse
We're
to
not going
allow
to
this
allow
honorable member
it.
to
We're not
reduce this
here
meeting
to protect
into
the
a circus.
department. We're not here to protect the
We
department.
can't be given problems
I've
by
got
an
15
individual.
minutes.
We've
I
been
must
here
be
on time.
allowed
An
to
individual
utilize my 15
who comes
minutes.
late to a meeting
I must be
come
allowed
to
to
a meeting
utilize my 15
and dictate
minutes.
the terms of operations. We can never allow that thing. We're also members of this parliament.
I will never
We're
come
also
here to
independent
protect the
members of
department.
We're not depending
We
on the
must come
department.
here and
But
ask
this honorable
questions, and
member
then
is out
these
of
people
order.
don't even
He's
respond to your
engaging on
questions?
something that is not even
Never.
on part of the agenda.
Won't happen.
Why must we continue entertaining him?
Won't happen.
We're not here for people who are going to come
Won't
and type
happen.
for likes on Facebook.
It's not going to
We'll
happen.
never accept that behavior and
It's not
attitude.
going to happen.
It's not as if we cannot degenerate to this
It's
level.
not going to happen.
We can degenerate to this level.
Not-
We are both young people.
not
We
going to
can take
happen.
each other head on, toe to toe,
No
pound to
problem.
pound. We've got that energy.
No
as
problem.
it-
You have
But
your 15
us
minutes, I
being
have my
quiet
15
does not mean
minutes.
that we are
You have
afraid
your
of
15
it.
minutes, I have my 15 minutes.
This honorable member is wasting our
You have
time.
your 15 minutes, I have my
Parliamentary
15 minutes.
Protection Services, I've called for them for some time.
But we are saying to you, Chairperson, if you are afraid of this honorable member, some of us were not afraid of him. We are not afraid of him. He cannot come into this
No
meeting
problem.
and
No,
reduce
no,
it into
no,
a
no,
circus.
no problem.
He comes late into the meeting. He wants to
No
dictate the
problem.
terms of operations. He becomes around.
You are not
We'll
going
never
to
accept that
protect the
behavior.
department for long.
He thinks that
you
he has a
will find
monopoly
me
of
here in
disruption.
parliament.
Well, let's meet
You
him
will
toe to toe.
never run.
We'll never
I am
accept
here.
this rowdy
I am
behavior.
going to keep asking these questions.
fine. We
I'm
are
going to
more than
keep
ready.
holding the department
But don't
accountable.
disrupt our
If
meetings.
you are sent here
Don't
by the
disrupt our
political
meetings.
parties to come and defend
disrupt our
corruption,
meetings.
to come and defend
Don't have a
looting,
problem with
to
you
come
asking
and defend
questions.
the looting of
No, no,
CCTV,
no.
the
Who said
looting
we are
of
defending
THEAD,
looting?
the looting of
must not
NSFAS,
come here
when
with
so many
allegations that are
students in
not
South Africa don't have accommodation, they are not receiving their allowances, so many unemployed youth, and we must come here and defend you? Never. You will find me here. Every time you
don't
come
have
to
a problem.
Parliament,
We don't have a
find
problem.
Sihle Lonzi
We
here.
don't have a problem
I will
of you
keep
raising
asking these
issues.
questions.
We don't have
I
a
will
problem.
never.
We've got a
I
problem
have
with you
my
disrupting
15
meetings.
minutes.
We've got a problem with you
Don't
disrupting
disrupt
meetings.
anyone when they are
Got a
speaking,
problem
when they
with
have
you
their 15
behaving
minutes.
like a dictator.
I will
We'll never
run.
allow you to do that.
They will run.
You might have been
They
used to
will
that behavior,
find
but from
me
us,
here.
you are not going to get
You
it.
will find me
We are
here.
not your small boys that
You
are going
will
to run
find
you.
me
We
here.
are going to take you
You
head
will
on.
find
You
me
are
here.
disruptive.
You are going to find me
You
here.
come late into a
I'm not a
meeting.
bodyguard of the
Disrupt the proceedings of the
department.
meeting.
I'm not a
You
bodyguard
expect
of
us
the
to keep quiet.
department.
You are mad.
Please
You are
help
not
us
a
extend them out.
Bodyguard. If you are sent here by the ANC to come and defend the corruption of these people, it's the ANC. What is going on to them? No. I am not the bodyguard of the department. What is I'm not the bodyguard of the department. You are the only one who are I will never be stopped from asking questions.
ANC volunteers.
Why must I be stopped from asking questions? Why must I be stopped from asking questions?
You
Nothing will be discussed in the next meeting. Now you want to abuse us. You think that you are the only champion of the
Can't
poor.
be dictated by
You
the
think you are the only champion of the poor. Because
never
you are now you
accept that
can speak as you want. Now you must get out. You can't abuse us. We told you we took a solution.
Hello. Fine, it's fine.
We're tired. You've been talking to us here. We've been wasting our time. After you tell us about the ANC meeting procedure, we will discuss the matter when the minister is here.
You don't point a finger at me. 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 PPS, can you please escort this man out?
Don't point at us. Don't point at us.
Yeah, PPS, we're losing time here, PPS, please. Can you please do your job and remove the member from our meeting? Yeah, thank you very much, members. I'm sorry that we had to witness, the problem with people coming late in our meetings, and when we had agreed, and they want to, play to the gallery, wanting to claim that we are defending corruption, We have given Honorable Lonzi a lot of time we have explained what you colleagues resolved on at the beginning of the meeting. It's not our fault. He did not send an apology. It's not our fault that he had decided to arrive late. I think there's somebody who said in Parliament that I think there must be breathalyzers, so medicine check, members, because some of your behaviors, honestly, is not. You're not behaving like honorable members. I'm sorry you had to endure that. There was nothing. I don't have a system to switch off the mics here. I would have done so, but like the rules of Parliament allows, I explained to him and told him. 3 members called order to explain that we have agreed on this matter at the beginning of the meeting, and it's not my decision not to allow him to engage there. It's just that some people, I think this thing of having cameras is also bad. People who want to act on camera, for likes and all of that. So we are, let me see, colleagues, let's take a 4-minute break. We'll be back at 12:45. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 members to speak. 5 members actually to speak. So we'll come back now at 12:45. Just grab yourselves a bottle of water, come down, and then when we start, we'll start with you, Honorable Khabo. Thanks. 4 minutes break.